Hey guys, it's Juanita, owner and chef of Harvest on 25th, and welcome to my home. We're going to assemble and cook our Brunch Socca together. Our Brunch Socca is really special in that it is nutritious and delicious. It also looks great on the plate after you assemble it, so it's a great activity to do with your family or your kids. So in the box we have the Socca batter, sprouts, farm fresh eggs, caramelized onions, pistachio pesto, roasted tomatoes, tempeh, and then your avocado. Our Socca is a chickpea flatbread, and it's made with just chickpeas and water and like a little bit of seasoning. It serves 4 people, and it comes with all the components to assemble a Socca. There's no prep to be done beforehand. The batter is already made, and this just gets cooked in the skillet. And then the other components you warm up in the microwave or in the oven. I prefer the oven. So you just set your oven temperature to 300 degrees. And the eggs we will cook in a skillet, and we'll go through that together. And then the avocado just needs to be cut. The first thing you want to do is start off by putting your components for the Socca on a sheet pan. You can line it with foil or a silk mat like this, or parchment, anything you have in your home. So caramelized onions, I'm gonna put on there. And you can just section it off. And if a little bit of like the juices from the caramelized onions kind of leak into the tomatoes, it's no big deal. It'll just make it taste better, honestly. So tomatoes go on the pan. These are slow roasted, and then the tempeh. If you prefer to heat these up in the microwave, that's completely fine. That's up to you. I would do it for about 20 to 30 seconds for each, or just in an oven. The oven is set to 300, so we're just gonna put it in our oven. And you can just forget about it until the Socca is done and you're ready to assemble. Nothing should burn because your oven is low enough, and it should be good. Okay, here's your Socca batter. When you receive it in your kit, you might notice that it separates a little bit. That is completely normal. You just want to take a spoon and stir it just to get it back up to the thick consistency that you want. And I'll show you what you're looking for. You can do this with a whisk or a spoon. So that's what you want. It's about pancake batter consistency. Okay. Heat your stovetop to like high medium heat. You want to use olive oil for cooking, or whatever oil you prefer. A lot of people prefer avocado oil. Coconut even works well too. So I'm gonna put about 1 tablespoon roughly of oil and just kind of coat the bottom of your pan. It is important to have a well-oiled pan, that way your Socca doesn't stick. And we'll let that get hot. And another thing you'll need is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. It's 1/2 cup of batter per serving. So just have that on hand and let this get hot for a minute. As you're like waiting for this, you can have your other skillet ready to fry your eggs however you like your eggs cooked. Of course, you can do scrambled if you prefer that too. And I'll show you how to cook a sunny side up egg after this. You can see that the oil is a little bit hot. It's kind of starting to smoke a little bit. That's exactly what you want. You want to hear like, you know, that good sizzle in the pan when you put this down. So I'm gonna tilt it a little bit. There's no reason to spread it out. It naturally spreads out by itself. And we're gonna use this spatula here to flip it. You'll cook the socca about 2 to 3 minutes per side, and it'll start to set around the edges and get golden brown, and then that's when you know to flip it. My favorite are these the crispy edges that it creates just naturally in the oil. So a little bit about socca. It is a chickpea pancake. It's literally chickpea flour, water, a little bit of like herbs and some spices. So it's naturally gluten-free. And vegan as well. There's no egg. It tastes like this savory, almost cornbread-like flavor. It's so delicious. And I'm just gonna go around like this just to kind of like loosen it off of the pan a little bit. Chickpeas are also really high in protein, so the flatbread itself is a great protein choice. And then, so it's like a complete meal in and of itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and go underneath, and then we're just gonna flip really quickly like that. See how beautiful that is. I'm gonna go ahead and put some oil down in my other skillet so that it's ready when I am. It's okay to like flip back and forth if you need to. If you kind of touch it, you can see that it's still gooey. It feels that way. It just needs like maybe another minute. Should be ready by now. I'll flip it back over just to check. And it's set in golden brown. It's exactly what you want. You guys can see, so a little bit more oil. We're gonna start our eggs. I do want to point out that we use locally raised pastured eggs. We use Long Branch Farm. They have an incredible product. And every one of your kits, just know that you're getting really great quality eggs. Okay, we're gonna do 2 eggs here. So my pan is hot. Oh, a double yolk. Isn't that awesome? Okay, and then another one. See if this one's a double yolk. It's usually the blue or green ones that are double yolked, which is so beautiful. And then at this point, I like to season the eggs, so just with a little bit of salt. If you want to do black pepper, that's great. It's time to flip this socca. There we go. It's a little bit more golden brown, but that's still perfect. And just gonna wait on these to fry. I'm gonna do these sunny side up. They will pop. You can just have a lid on hand and cover them just a little bit so the oil doesn't splash on you. Gonna separate the 2 eggs. With a sunny-side up egg, you want to have enough oil in the pan so that you can kind of tilt it around, and the hot oil will help kind of cook the whites a little bit. So while our egg is cooking, we can go ahead and start assembling and just kind of keep an eye on the eggs. The first thing we're going to do is spread the pistachio pesto on it. So let's just mix it up just a little bit. It's about a heaping tablespoon, maybe 2. And take the back of your spoon, just spread it on there. You can pull out the components that are warm in the oven. It should be warm by now. So first, we're gonna do some caramelized onions. These are caramelized red onions. They're seasoned a little bit with like salt, pepper, some garlic, a little bit of balsamic vinegar for acidity. And I'm just kind of spreading them evenly onto the socca. Then now the tempeh. So most people don't know what tempeh is. It is a great like protein source and meat alternatives for vegans or vegetarians. It is a fermented soybean patty. It sounds a little strange, but it actually is delicious. You can flavor it however, it absorbs whatever flavor you add to it. So for the restaurant, we marinate the tempeh overnight and then bake it the next day. And then we'll cook it to become a little bit crispier. So that's kind of how we do it. You can add whatever spices you want to it and it takes on that flavor. And the texture is really good too. So after you have the tempeh on is when you can add your eggs. Perfectly like crispy on the bottom, and you can still see the yolk. Just place it off to the side, and then we'll go in with like the slow roasted tomatoes. I like to like put these in compartments because visually it looks stunning, and then obviously when you eat it you can just have it all together. And then the next thing would be the avocado. It's about 3 to 4 slices per socca. And then you'll have some Aleppo chili in your box. You just kind of sprinkle it onto the egg or the avocado, as little or as much as you want. Aleppo chili is a milder chili, so it's not too spicy. And then these are arugula sprouts. Arugula sprouts have a lot of nutrients. Sprouts have more nutrients in general versus like their full, like a full grown leaf. Like these have about 10 times more nutrients than large arugula. And you just made this beautiful meal. It's that easy. It feeds 4 people. It's super high in protein, naturally gluten-free. It's got great fats and carbohydrates. It makes for a perfect breakfast or lunch or dinner. You can have it any time of the day. So from my kitchen to yours, this is our H25 Brunch Socca.